So all that's missing now, guys, is the carburetors for the time being. Well, there's other things as well, but immediately I need to look at those carburetors. Now, I did a really dumb thing. I rebuilt a set. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put you in the tripod, and I'm going to go to the cupboard and get them. Yeah, what's in here? I rebuilt these quite a few months ago, maybe about 6 months. Let's clear the bench a little bit. Last thing we want is crap getting into these carbs. Now the carbs that came off are identical to these, but I've yet to service them. They're over here. There they are. I'm going to strip them and rebuild them to the same level I stripped the other ones and rebuilt. Let's take you back. Put you back on the pod. Let's open this box up. To be honest with you, I didn't think I'd be opening these as early as I am. But working away like Trojans, we get things done. Let's put that on there for the time being. Right, these are the carbs which I'm going to use, but before I do, I did a real dumb thing. I set the float to 22 millimeters, and when you measure where the float default position is, and it should be 24. So let's see what we can do about that. Can you see there, guys? So I'm going to get my vernier gauge. I'm going to take all these caps off, or float bowl chambers, whatever you want to call them. Float bowl. Where's my vernier gauge gone? Aha! Lurking on the lathe. And what we're going to do is I'm going to check this, and it should be 22. I will check it on the 21, 2, 3, 24. We'll see what it is now when we take one off, and then change it accordingly. Let's go and get me screwdrivers. Me JIS screwdrivers. Yeah, don't know where the other one's gone now. Hope I'm not blocking you out with the view. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cap off and I'll measure this one. Now, whichever one is 24 or 22, we will then change them to the correct size. I'm pretty sure it was 24, not 22, but let's see what we got here. Yeah, it was 22. So I need to change these to 24. That's the gap there, guys. The gap there. That's got to come out and be up to 24. Now, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think we should have the gasket in there for this. Which makes it still mongs out. What is that now? Ooh. That's 21.5. So these need to come off. I need to bend them to get them to 24. So where's my little pin to push the pin out? Use my pliers. So there's the pin. Have a bit of a tidy up here. So that's got to be bent down to push the floats up, I do believe. That might be even lower now, so I might have to bend it the other way. I think I might have messed up. Ah, I've got to bend it the other way. Stupid boy Pike. The gasket's just gone on the floor. It jumped off. Did anyone see where it went? Oh, there it is. Didn't go on the floor. I was going to say, if you saw where it went, guys, you could put it in the comments down below. Right. So I moved that quite a bit now. And put that back on. I think I've gone the other way again actually. Oh, that's awful. That is definitely not right. Let's see what that measures now. .22. So that one we know is okay. So I can leave that one, put the gasket back on and leave him be. I don't think you're going to want to watch me filming all of these guys because it just gets a bit tedious and boring. So what I'll do the other three, but that was just to show you what is necessary to get them at the right height. Isn't it funny how different bowls come up slightly different? That one's lovely in silver and these are not. I've tried polishing them in the same way, but there we go. Anyway, I'm going to turn the camera off and I'll get on with the others and I'll come back to you when they're all done. Okay, just set you up guys. I'm just about to check the cam chain. Now on the other side, if you remember, we talked about the timing the other day, and this time round we're going to do the cam chain timing. What I did yesterday was the ignition timing. So I put it on T14 and I undo this, which is the cam chain. We put a little bit of light on there. Can you see that? There you go. And we slacken that off, and there's a spring in here. I expect you guys know about this, but here you go. You might go click. Nope. Well, that means that it is as tight as it can be. So we'll tighten that back up, and then I'll tighten up the lock nut, which is there. And that's it. As long as all the slack is at the back. Sorry, the engine's going around that way. That's right. Yeah. So the chain is pulling down from the front, and all the slack will be at the back. And this is the idea of the tensioner. Because the engine rotates that way, any slack will be at this side here. So when you release this on T14 on the timing, not the F, T for timing, then any slack is taken up by that spring and the buffer in there. It looks as if it was pretty good, so I didn't really need to do it, but it's good to do it just to check before we do the carbs. So I'm going to put the carbs on in a minute. So we can get in there. Just to recap as well, I didn't film this because it is a bit tedious. I've put the cam cover on. They should be polished really, but I've got the other cam cover. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I might get the other cam cover re-chromed and then stick it on there. I don't know. I'll think about that. Anyway, all the bolts have been cleaned up. They're the original bolts. They've all been cleaned up in the lathe and a wire brush, and they've come up okay. So what I'm going to do now is put the rubbers on, screw them down, and then put the carbs on. And over the next couple of days, we'll put a test petrol tank on it. I won't bother with the air box for the time being. I just want to see if it'll run. If it runs, the carbs will come off, put the air box in, and then we'll put the carbs back on again. But that's where we are at the moment. So let me go and get the rubbers. I'll screw them on and I'll come back to you in a minute. Afternoon chaps, back in the workshop. Yes, today, well, let me just bring you up to speed of what's being done. I went through the carburetors, checked them, and I've done a test on them, and to be honest with you, they shut okay. There's a little bit of damage on one of the bores, one of the bodies here. I'll just go and get you off the pod a minute. Yeah, this one here, don't know if you can see that. That one there has got a scuff mark in the middle. Now I might be able to tune that out with the vacuum gauges. See how we go. The others seem to be okay. Let me just get my light a minute. That's the one there that's got the scuff mark. I don't know if you can see that. I don't think it's a major issue. If we move you along to the other ones, that one doesn't look too bad. Cleaned them up. Now I built this set about 3 or 4 months ago. Complete strip down, rebuild, new jets, the works. It's all been factory reset on the mixture screws. I've checked the jets, they're all correct, present and correct, that came through. The needles are okay, they're all set. It's all set up here. I've loosened these off. Let me show you what I mean. I've loosened these off because what I want to do is put it on the bike, tighten it all up. There'll be no airbox on the bike at this moment in time. I'm just going to put the carbs on, tighten them up, and then I'm going to recheck the distance with a drill. My drill is my gauge, and I adjust each slider valve accordingly. So they all start off at a given point. Now hopefully that given point will be the same per carb. That's what I've always done in the past, but if you guys got any better ideas, I'm quite open to listen to suggestions. Right, I'm going to take these over to the bike and we'll see if we can put them on. I'm going to put you in there first. Right, I hope you can hear me. I think you can. Right, here we go. Now if I get in the shot, just bear with me. Clip. You can hear them go in, which is nice. We just tighten these up. Wouldn't be a bad idea if I had the right screwdriver, would it? Right, okay. So this is number 3 being tightened up on the clip. Number 4. Might need to get some new clips, I think. Now I'm going to come around there and do number 1 and number 2. I'll try not to move you out the way. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Carburetors are in there. As you can see, there's no airbox. I've done that for a reason. I want to see if it will fire up and everything's okay on the carbs, that they don't leak, that the floats are the right level, everything is okay with the jets. I will have a quick look at the plugs, although it probably won't give me a great deal of information until you do a few miles on it, but they need to be a nice dry chocolatey brown, and if they're like that, then it tells me my mixtures are right and my air's right, everything's tickety-boo. The balancing of the carbs I've done with a wire, which is 0.6 to 0.7 I think of a mil, something like that, but it doesn't really matter as long as they're all uniform. I've left myself a little bit of leeway on the idle adjustment here so that I can actually take it up or take it down depending on which way they pan out when it starts. Battery's on charge. I did flatten the battery because you will see in an earlier video, which I'll probably put with this one, this clip, I turned the engine over on the starter motor because I wanted the oil to be pumped up into the cams without it going crazy. I've also oiled all the cams. That's all in the previous video, so they had a load of oil squirted into them before I done that. We've now got the red light going out, which again you'll see in the previous video, so I don't want to repeat myself on that. So what have I done at the back? Well, both pipes are on. They're looking quite neat, apart from this mess here, which was on there before I got the pipe. Before I got the bike. I'm going to see if I can find that one pipe. It's proven to be a bit of a bugger. Everybody wants you to buy a set, and I don't want to buy a set because there's nothing wrong with the others. I just want to get this pipe. So if anybody knows anybody that might be able to help, and it needs to be in good order. This is not an original pipe. This is not an original pipe. It is, I think it might be Delta Vic or some other name, I don't know, but it's not. But they're quite solid, I have to say. Moving on to the back, all the sprocket, the timing, not the timing, the alignment of the chain is all done. I'm quite pleased with the way that. I did put a new cush drive in, by the way. If you go back in the previous video or further back in this video, you'll see it was really wobbling. The sprocket was wobbling all over the place, and it was the cush drive because I checked the bearings. No, I didn't. I put new bearings in. I rechecked them, took them apart, checked them. It wasn't the bearings. It wasn't the spacer. It was definitely the cush drive. Now that cush drive's in there and it's all tightened up, it's fine. The chain is running right in the middle of the sprockets, which is good because I can see the links on the side of the chain are not rubbing against the side of the wall of each sprocket. So that's really good. So we know that's running as true as I can get it. I think that's probably it, really. I think we're probably... That's about as far as I can go today until I get these coils. Anyway, folks, I hope you find some of this interesting. If it gets a bit boring at certain times when I'm doing a bolt up, because that does get a bit tedious and boring, speed on a little bit till you find some that interests you. If you've got any comments you want to make and you want to ask any questions about the project, please do feel free. I'll just kneel down so you can see me in frame. There we go. I think really speaking it's just a question of waiting for these coils and checking the carbs. But if you get any questions, do stick them below. Click the thumbs if you like them. I'm not going to bang on about it. It's entirely up to you. It's not clickbait like you see on some of these things. This is information for people that have got a genuine interest in these old quackers. And if you have and it's been useful, then great. I'm pleased about that. Some parts are a little bit drawn out. Some parts are a bit... Cool, bloody hell, what's he doing then? He's taking ages. Yeah, I don't blame you, but I want to do it right because I owe it to this old boy. It's 50 years old this year, and I think it's right that we should get it running as good as we can. Right, so I'm going to wrap it up there, and I'll be back later.